Hello everybody and welcome back to Tlatoani, where last episode we managed to finish our temple, and that is fantastic. We don't have staff here yet, so that's absolutely understood. The question is, can we get the staff? And yeah, we definitely can. So that looks good. We need to sacrifice a bunch of captives next. So we've sacrificed 1 out of 10, but how do we see what our current number of captives is? Well, let's go ahead and do a small festival here. Sacrifices captive, needed 1 victim, sacrifice 1 victim. Okay, so I think what we should do is, we've got 4 years remaining, right? So let's just do like a captive every little while here. And so we'll have this be a small here, and then we'll do like 1 here. Oh, this could be a large or a grand festival. Okay, let's see if that happens. I believe we are missing some of our victims for this. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. Of course, this sentry post needs stone. We're working on our overall stone issue. We are attempting to import large quantities of stone right now. That said, we have significantly less demand for artwork at this time, so that should be good. This well dipper is strained, that's understood. There's another well dipper right here, though, that has minimal use. That should be pulling some of the pressure off. I'm thinking a well dipper up here would be helpful, though. So for now, we could definitely do that. Let's see here. That is under health and safety. So a well dipper here would definitely help. So that sounds good. What else are we in need of? Well, stone and captives. I don't know of a way that we can generate our own captives. So a festival has begun. And if we check in on this festival, we can see that we have made 1 sacrifice here and 1 victim sacrifice here. Okay, so how do we see how many captives we have? That's probably in here somewhere in our advisors, right? I would think it's in here somewhere. These are our services. Yeah, our herbalists lack supplies. That's not shocking. We're lacking capacity for education. That's certainly noted. Let's see. Captives aren't considered a stock or commerce, I guess. That makes sense. Here's our treasury here. That's understood. And then everything here is looking pretty okay. I just don't see where we have captives. So maybe we have the captives, maybe we don't. I don't know. We'll find out. Cool. So we know we need some additional education, right? And thinking about where our existing education is, that is this guy right here. So we have 1 here. And we have 1 here. And 1 here right now. We might want to think about having 1 somewhere down this direction. Like, if we extended this road down, is what I'm thinking. So this road would come down like this, and then we would put 1 in right here to help out with that. That will cut down a couple of trees, but we're not reliant on those trees. So that seems fine for the moment. We can address that way. So at this point, the main question that I have is, do we have the captives that we need? Because we've definitely got the festivities that we need, so that looks good. As far as staff here goes, we are looking good. Excellent. We still need a lot of stone for this sentry post, and it's going to take time for the stone to flow in and get everywhere we want it to be. Does this require stone to build? Let's see here. A little bit. 8. So, yes. It does indeed require stone. So that is definitely not ideal. Okay, the festival is over at this time. So that sounds good, and we're going to have another festival over here, and then our big festival is going to be here. So we made 10 polk sacrifices. We wanted a little bit more, for sure. And then this is using... Yeah, this is polk. Okay, so that's understood. So we've got the cloth weavers here that are currently using Megui and outputting cloth. It is our breweries that are outputting polk. We might want to consider actually getting a couple of additional breweries, and that might mean that we need more of these farms. We'll find out. So let's see here. Where are breweries? Here we go. I kind of want to have a brewery or two down here near the temple. So that would be maybe here. And then another one perhaps here. I don't really like this positioning here, but it'll have to do. So something kind of like this, a pair of these. And then we could maybe consider putting in a farm in some of this kind of awkwardly shaped land here. So a farmer's hut could go right here, and then we'd be growing a Megui bed right around over this way. So that would be 8 out of 32. That would be 26. This would be 32 out of 32. So something along the lines of that. Should do the trick. Excellent. So I'm not too concerned right now about much of anything except stone. Stone is a concern, absolutely. But let's just get some of these constructions done, and the question is, will these 5 farms be enough to serve all this? Okay, there's an invading army coming from the west. That's understood. It feels like we should be able to generate captives from these invasions as well, but I don't know if we can or not. Okay, so we're definitely starting to get this situation over here under control. That's looking good. Well, not really control, necessarily. You know, I just realized that we have the space here to roll a road up this direction, like this, maybe like that, and then put in another farm hut right here, and just do something kind of like this, and just cram all of this in here. So that would get us 27 right there, and then we can fill this. That's 31. That's awkward. I'm wondering where our connection here is. It's there. So we can get rid of that. Put this here. And there we go. That's 32. Beautiful. That actually fit perfectly in there. I like it. So that should be good. The invading army has arrived. They're out over this way. Okay, that's noted. We are, as before, going to group up right over here. And we've got a lot of dudes that we can do with this. So let's go. Get over here, lads. Sounds good. So we'll get this all underway over here. That's going to hopefully produce enough to get these breweries online. Because we're going to need more polk, I think. So that looks good. I don't know that these farms will be enough to service everything that we've got going on here, but it's probably going to be pretty close, if I had to guess. Okay, so where are they? Here they are. Cool. They're on their way in. We're just holding position right now. Okay, we're moving. Get in there. Get attacking. They're not even attacking us right now. Okay, now they are. We are trading poorly this time. I don't know what the difference is. Well, actually, we're doing pretty okay, but I do see that this guy died very early on. Okay. There we go. They're not even in retreat. We just straight up killed them all. So that's good. We will disband our guys at this point. And we did lose this spearman. He's actually only badly injured. He's not actually dead. He'll probably die pretty soon, though. Nobody appears to be interested in helping him, so sure. Okay, so my question now is, how are we doing on this sacrifice? We made 10 again? No, this is the same one. We've made 1. So satisfaction is 52%. Okay. Well, we're not going to have these breweries fully online yet. That's going to take some time, and we're lacking some Megui out over this way, which is not at all surprising. So this trading post here does not accept it at all. Let's see here. We can drop down the amount of clay we accept, and we can boost this up with this being balance. So this will now help distribute Megui, which we aren't getting in this porter yard either, but we can get it from up over here and over here. So that should be fine. In theory. At least once these come online for sure. Okay, our imperial levies have been dispatched. Some of our education venues are crowded. So which ones? Well, we've got this one right over here. Service use is strained. We've got this one down over here, which is still under construction, so that's not done yet. Service use here is minimal, and service use here is none. So basically everyone is being educated by this one. Okay. That's a little awkward, for sure. Yeah, that's definitely awkward. I'm going to run a road up over this direction, like... what size is that? Would that fit here? It probably would. So let's just go ahead and do... yeah, this. We'll get another one up over here to help out with this area. So that looks good for now. And once this one gets finished as well, then that'll help matters significantly. But the main issue here, of course, is stone. And that's what it comes down to. We have to trade for stone. We can see we do have a couple of units of stone up in this trading post, and they're gone. It's just that fast. We need a lot of stone. So that's absolutely understood. We're trying to maximally trade for stone, but we may even need to get another trading port, or another trading post going, which would be kind of insane. But we need a lot of stone. Yeah, you're delivering stone to Porter Yard. Yeah, there's an incredibly high demand for stone right now. So that's what we're being held up on for a lot of this. What's with this guy? They're in retreat. Okay. I guess he recovered and decided to continue the attack and then was like, nah, I'm alone. Sure. Whatever. So that's fine. We, of course, need 80 stone here, and we need 80 stone here, and we need 30 stone here. And our artwork production is consuming stone constantly as well. So that's all noted. We are definitely attempting to acquire stone as rapidly as we can, but the moment the stone comes in, it goes back out again. What is with these guys? They're just moving one tile and then stopping. Well, okay then. We got a captive, so, you know, that's nice. How do we do on the feast here? We made 10 offerings here. Okay, so this was exactly the same as the last one. This one, I don't know that we're going to have enough captives, but this should be enough to satisfy this if we have the captives. So that's understood, and we should have a decent amount of pulque coming in at that time. Yeah, we're growing all of this at this point. Production is underway here, and production is underway here. So we've got additional breweries online, but we still need large amounts of stone coming in. So that's going to be interesting. I'm thinking strongly about getting yet another trading post that is just dedicated exclusively to importing stone. Putting that like right here. It costs stone to build, but yeah, let's do that. So this would be trading with a hectopec, and we would have this be importing stone and just maximizing the stone import. Just stone. So we'll get that underway there. And we just need to get the stone in there. Actually, the stone is flowing into here. Okay, the festival has begun at this point. Now, this is the big festival. So we need 43 servings of pulque here, and we're producing some, for sure. Yeah, we're definitely producing some. We might need additional breweries out over here. That is a possibility. So we'll keep an eye on that. We're up to 5 captives now, and we've made 2 sacrifices of captive and 3 regular sacrifices. Okay. So we're up to 6 captive sacrifices now. Yeah, so we will sacrifice captives obtained through war where possible. But where not possible, we will sacrifice other people. Gotcha. So that seems good. We should definitely get this finished then, once that's done. In theory. Yeah, there's 7 out of 10. So we're sacrificing some of our populace at this point in order to do this. Now, we probably don't need to do that. We would probably prefer to do captives. Actually, that only took us to 8 of 10. That's interesting. Well, we're going to wait until ceasing of water for the next one, and we could move this up to a large, and we'll see if we get all 10 of them with that at a large. So that looks good. Oh, and I wanted to check on how we did on bulk. 10. Again. Okay. Well, that's not ideal for sure. We can definitely get a couple more breweries online. That is certainly an option. And we might want to do that, actually. So another pair of breweries, and I'm going to have these be directly adjacent to the temple. So something like that. These are intended to be specifically about funneling it directly into this temple, ideally. We'll see if it happens. So we still have some education venue issues. We can see that this is at 80. This trade post did get built. So we're going to be importing additional stone. Bandits ambushed one of our traders on the road, but our soldiers fended them off. Okay, cool. So that sounds great. And there we go. So this just came online. That's perfect. And this will hopefully remove some of the strain from this education provider. We've also got this one up over here that will be coming online soon. But we don't have any citizens working in this just yet. We've got plenty of house space, so that shouldn't be an issue. We're short on common workers. Yeah, I mean, we just sacrificed a bunch of them. So that's understood. Some of our workshops are lacking stone and Megui. Okay. Understood. We've got lots and lots of pulp in stock right now. So that's good to know. We'll keep an eye on that. Stone isn't surprising. It's not terribly surprising that we'd be short on Megui as well. I'm not entirely certain if we want to make more of those. We'll keep an eye on that. We may need to make more of those farms. Okay, so this down over here is, in fact, providing education now. Service usage is currently none, but I'm hoping to see that pull some of the strain off of this. Some of it. And then there's this one, which will hopefully pull a little bit of that strain as well. It's not going to be as much, but hopefully some. So up over here, this trading post is currently working on trading. It is exclusively an importer of stone. So that looks good. We could think about putting up additional education services down here as well, which is maybe not a terrible idea, actually. It would fit right here. Yeah, let's do it. That seems good. Since we're still running into issues with this being strained. We're now at minimal service use out over here, so that should, yeah, we've definitely pulled some of the strain off of this school. But we need more. Our levies have been received, and we successfully sent our tribute to Tlatoani, so that sounds great. Oh, look at that. That's, grisly. But very successful. Excellent. So we're going to be having, yes, we are in ceasing of water right now. So we're currently working on getting some of these sacrifices made. So we're at 9 of 10. Okay. Well, we're very, very close then. I'm not sure if citizen sacrifices count. Made 1, made 6. Okay. Well, we'll see what ends up happening at the next one. All we need is 1 additional captive sacrifice, so that sounds good. And I'm not too concerned about it, really. Everything seems pretty okay for the time being. We're even sitting kind of okay on stone. Emphasis on kind of. So the festival has ended, and if we check in here, we can see... Yeah, so I think we need to go down to small festivals for all of these. Yeah. Let's do that with the hopes of sacrificing fewer citizens. All we need to do is sacrifice 1 captive at this point, and we may or may not have a captive available. We'll see. So that seems reasonably fine for now. The canals over here are not fully built, are they? Maybe they are. I don't know. These look kind of weird over here. This is not irrigated. So these canals aren't properly constructed. Okay. That's odd. Let's just build a road straight through here. Like that. And see if that changes anything. Okay, so that's fine for now. We don't need this to be irrigated. It would just be nice, right? So that's absolutely fine for the moment. I do see that this porter yard is pretty full, actually. Yeah, that's quite full. So we should definitely continue to move that on out of there. That looks good. But my real question right now is, once we get to the next one, is this going to end? Let's fast forward a little bit. I feel like we're basically done with this scenario and just waiting for it to end now. We might be getting this built soon. That still needs 78 stone, and this still needs 80 stone. And this small market over here is strained. Okay, so we should probably consider putting in another market somewhere. I'd like it to go maybe over here, but the ranges on that is not phenomenal. This would relieve some of the pressure over here, though. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, that should be fine for now. Okay, so that's going to require some stone as well. That's not necessarily shocking. So we're just progressing forward here, and we're heading to the lesser feast of the revered. Let's take this up to like 6x. There we go. So just pushing on forward here, some of our workshops lack stone and our food reserves are low and declining. So getting additional food production down here would be good. I want this to be pretty much exclusively maize production. So let's go ahead and put in a farmer's hut about here. And then let's get some maize fields over here. Surprisingly, no, that doesn't work. Okay. So this is 27. There we go. That'll do for now. So we'll get that online. And once that comes online, our food should get somewhat better. We're going to have some irrigation down there. This is going to be... Okay, there we go. We successfully sacrificed the last person. Excellent.
Tecpatsin and many of his warriors fell in battle today, routing the Tepanecs from their position in the mountain passes that they had held for months against the Xaltocans and their allies. The road to Tenanyocan is open now, and our soldiers are already encamped beside the lakeshore on the mountain's southern flank. Despite the high cost, it was a great victory, and the general and his men go now to fight beside Huitzilopochtli for eternity. Chief Toscuecuechtli has decreed that from this day on, the mountain shall be known to us as Tecpayakak. With the Tepanex rebuffed, we will have at least a moment of opportunity to expand further south, and the chief has no intention of wasting it.
Excellent. So next up is going to be this floating gardens one. Okay, seems interesting. So we'll do that in the next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for... Actually, hang on, wait a second. Hang on a moment. These are both different. This is the one we just did. So we've actually got both of these that we can do. Fascinating. As I was saying, you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.